What's up? I'm Ouija Mac. I give no fucks. I got these diamonds on my finger, and shout out to Studio 17 because it's all about 17. You broke bitch. Baby, I'm a go, baby, I'm a go. So where I'm here. Don't nobody know. Baby, I'm a go, baby, I'm a go. I just want the block like it's where they hit my bone. Baby, I'm a go, baby, I'm a go. When you feel alone, girl, I'm on you like some clothes. Exhale, smoke.
What up, and welcome to another UFCD pre-show. I'm your co-host, RONE, and right next to me I got...
SCOTTY BALLZ. What's going on, y'all?
Fuck yeah. Last week, we broke down Tales from the Lotus Pod OG Red version, went up against Psychopathic Riders Riding Dirty. This week, we got Super Villains Furious going up against some we don't know yet.
We don't know yet. We know. You don't fucking know.
We'll reveal it in a few minutes.
This album we're going to speak on for a quick minute.
Yes, sir.
All right, when this fucker came out, what was the whole era? What was the whole hype when you remember this coming out?
The whole hype for that originally began when Esham signed to Psychopathic in 2002, and Acid Rain came out. And then they put out Shangri-La, and there was a Super Villains hidden track on there, which was fire.
Right.
And then, Esham dropped his album. Hell's Pit came out, and they always had the SV logo on the back of the CDs.
There was a lot of shit they did with Super Villains before Furious actually dropped.
Mm-hmm.
They had the track right before Shangri-La dropped on November 5th. Silence of the Hams, which was fucking ICP and Esham Hallow Wicked track, where they fucking teased a little bit at it. Prior to that, I remember a lot of shit online. They were always talking about Super Villains. I don't know. A lot of shit comes running back, like thinking when they were going to do a super group, like outside of Dark Lotus, outside of Riders. ICP, initially, I remember this very clearly. ICP and Esham were going to do a super group. It was just going to originally be them three, but then they were reaching out to other artists and stuff. I don't know what went all on behind the scenes during that time, but I remember distinctly at one point, ICP were like throwing names around for the supergroup name, and Planned Panic was one of them. And that fucking supergroup would have been ICP, Esham, and Tech Nine.
That would have been crazy.
That shit, when they were like teasing at that shit back then, because this was like right when Tech was fucking with Psychopathic, Green Book era, fucking, Tech's buzz was like coming into the Juggalo scene. Fago Lovers did an interview with him. You look up, I don't know if you could look up Planned Panic and find that out, but that was the name that Tech wanted for Super Villains to be originally,
Right.
And then eventually, Tech, I don't know what happened there, but ICP and Esham, they did the fucking Super Villains track on Shangri-La. They did the Hallow Wicked track. And,
they had the tracks on Esham's Acid Rain.
Yeah, they did Pow,
which is fire.
Fucking La La La.
And then by the time the album came out, it was revealed that it was 4 people, and it was like comic book characters almost.
Right.
Yeah, Mr. Hart, Mr. Diamond, Mr. Club, and Mr. Spade. Lavelle had joined the group at that point, which he was just doing production for like Twisted and Blaze.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes shit, engineer work for Psychopathic.
Right. And it's weird because I have a whole big story with Lavelle, like pre-SOOPA VILLAINZ. It was like right before he fucking joined SOOPA VILLAINZ. And it's like some fucking dirty laundry shit. I don't really want to do that because the Freak Show tour had happened like before fucking SOOPA VILLAINZ popped off. But Lavelle had done the Freak Show tour, both legs. I met him a few times and had some, you know, my interactions with Lavelle were good.
Yeah.
Nothing, you know, I got the fucking Mr. Realist fucking EP, like the old school Budweiser logo.
Yeah, it's rare as fuck.
Yeah, I got that. And yeah, I mean, it was definitely some great memories during that time. So with him joining as Mr. Hart, my fucking mind fucking blew. And I was like, hell yeah, what is this fucking album going to be like?
Yep.
I mean, a lot of people were on the fence when it like first came out. They're like, you know, what are they doing with these? I mean, we get it. They're different like suits of a deck of cards.
It's a whole different gimmick.
Of course, Mr. Diamond was Violent J. Mr. Club was fucking Shaggy, which was I don't know. To me, it was disappointing because Shaggy could have shined a lot more. I don't know.
On the album, yeah, he really didn't have much of a other outside of his scratching was ill on the album, which
definitely.
And his screaming and shit, he was primarily on the hooks.
Yeah, he did a lot of the choruses and shit, but it would have been I don't know. I would have liked to seen Shaggy shine more on the SOOPA VILLAINZ albums outside of just scratching and
as much hype as there was for the SOOPA VILLAINZ album. It was kind of a letdown for me. I can't front.
No, dude, me too. For real, yeah.
Yeah, it was a letdown for me. Like ICP and Esham coming together. Add Lavelle, he was just always okay to me. You know, I had the Realist album, the Awakening, I believe, was his second album.
Mm-hmm.
He was always just all right to me. But yeah, the album was kind of a letdown when it came out. It had a few fire tracks on it, but overall it was wasn't what it should have been.
I got to tell you a memory I remember. I remember there was a night right before the fucking Furious came out. D12 was performing in Detroit. I think it was like a few nights before this album dropped. And they actually paid and had like this fucking plane go by with a fucking banner hanging off of it. Like going above Detroit saying SOOPA VILLAINZ or some shit, you know?
Yeah.
SOOPA VILLAINZ have arrived or something.
Yeah.
I remember that shit.
That's dope.
Yeah, and it went above the fucking venue that D12 was playing at. And
that's fucking awesome.
Great fucking times back then, you know?
Hell yeah. All right, well, we got the mystery album that it's going up against tonight. I think it'll be a pretty good battle. We'll see. But if we want to reveal that shit, we can do it now.
All right, Brooklyn, take it away, bro.
In the van, drunk driving, pull over by the cops, wipe a gun from their holster, licking off shots, sped off in the flash, mashing on the gas, got a helicopter hovering above on my ass. We are the Killjoy Club, Mafia 6. Yeah. ICP. Don't play no reindeer games with me, boy. Tell this motherfucker up right now. Oh, yeah. Don't fuck with me, bitch. Don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me, bitch. Don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me, bitch. Don't fuck with me. It's the Mafia 6.
There you
Shit.
fucking have it, man.
Killjoy
fucking have
Club,
it.
Reindeer Games, the Mafia 6, and ICP.
I can't hear Ron.
Am I still muted?
Brooklyn, are we still muted?
No, I can hear him just fine.
You can hear him. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear both of you. You're just both in shock
Both in
I
shock.
guess that would be the case. I cannot
from
hear
that
Ron.
huge reveal.
I hear you, but I don't hear Ron. I don't understand why.
I'm going to leave the studio and come back.
All right. Well, I guess it's just me. There you go. Fucking Super Villains versus Killjoy Club. Who's going to fucking take it tonight on the UFCD fucking Battle Royale? 2 super groups. 2 fucking amazing fucking projects from Psychopathic Records, man. Who's it going to be? Brooklyn. Who do you think it's going to be? No speculation on your part, huh?
All right. Can you hear me now?
All right. Yes, I can hear you.
Fuck yeah. Killjoy Club, the Mafia 6, ICP. Technical difficulties aside, this is the battle tonight.
All right. All right. First and foremost, did I spoil it before we even released it?
No.
Okay. I'm just making sure I didn't like fucking say it before it was even released. I have had a few beers tonight. And I could have swore I saw somebody mention Killjoy Club in the comments. And
Got my alkaline water.
I got
Killjoy Club. Fucking, weren't they supposed to do a group album a long ass time ago when they originally first started collaborating with each other? Back in like 2000 with Just Another Crazy Click on 3-6 Mafia's album.
I think it was briefly mentioned, definitely.
Yeah, it was probably more speculation on ICP. They seem to always like, hey, we're gonna fucking do this, and the other group's probably like, huh? What are you talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. ICP's fucking notorious for jumping the gun on shit.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, Violent J, Shaggy, you know, he just goes with flow. But fucking Killjoy Club actually made fucking fruition, man. I mean, yeah, we heard. I don't know how you were exposed to 3-6 Mafia, if you heard them before ICP or after. I didn't know of 3-6 Mafia until Just Another Crazy Click.
Same here.
You know? And that fucking, you know, that track was fire. I picked up, you know, that fucking album When the Smoke Clears.
Classic.
And then 3-6 Mafia was on Freak Show where it was going down. I was like, fuck yeah, man. And then I saw him a couple times at the Gathering, like back in, I want to say 03. I could be talking out my ass, but they did shows way back then.
Okay.
With ICP. So
yeah,
they've been down a long fucking time. And this is when Juicy J was still part of the crew.
Yep. 3-6 always showed ICP love. They would do interviews in Murder Dogs, the photo shoot in Murder Dog magazine. They'd be wearing the Hatchet Man jersey or a Great Malenko jersey or something. They've always shown love. It was always dope.
Absolutely, man. And I mean, and look, their last appearance on anything Psychopathic prior to Killjoy Club was that fucking Twisted track, right? I'm trying to remember. Was it? Did they appear on the DJ?
The Mighty Death Pop bonus disc.
What's that?
The Mighty Death Pop bonus disc, the Night of the Chainsaw remix.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Juicy J and DJ Paul were on that remix, and that was a fucking fire remix too.
Dude, I got to go back and listen to that. I have not listened to that in fucking forever.
Yeah, that shit was dope.
Fuck yeah.
I fucking love this album. I'm glad I got to. What tour was it that they went on as the Mafia 6 and ICP? Was that Bang Pow Boom? Or Death Pop?
It had
to
have
been Death Pop tour or something, because it was right around the time this album came out, I believe. I was blackout drunk at that show. I don't remember it, but
that was like during the time ICP never fucking came around to my area.
Oh, okay.
Missing Link tour was the next time I like actually saw DJ Paul. I got like pictures with him with my son when he was like fucking 12 years old. He's
Right.
like 16 now. But, you know, it was a fucking awesome time then. But yeah, that was pre fucking this was after Killjoy Club.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the track list right now, and Supervillains has 15. Killjoy Club has 16. How the fuck are we doing this?
All right, so tonight we decided to take the outro track out from
Killjoy Club.
Killjoy Club. Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Sounds good to me.
We'll throw up the fucking track list right here. Wait, hold on. Let me align it. If y'all can read that. All them tracks going up against each other, minus Killjoy Club's fucking outro.
Yep. All right. You want to start breaking this shit down? We got intro versus intro, Furious Reindeer Games, the intros. To be honest, I don't remember the Supervillains intro. And then we got the Killjoy Club intro, which, again, not a memorable intro, either one of these albums.
One of them are fucking memorable.
So
I will say the intro to SOOPA VILLAINZ was disappointing because then you knew what you were in for with this album.
right. Some comic book shit.
I mean, it was comic book shit. It wasn't, you know, what you were.
Which isn't bad. Like, if it's executed properly, it could be done. But it would.
Yeah.
This
it was
just wasn't executed properly.
I mean, I want to say both of these intros are kind of underwhelming. When you go into the next tracks, that's where it kind of picks up a little more.
So we'll go Supervillains first. To the Rescue versus Killjoy's Club, Don't Fuck With Me, which we just heard a preview of in the intro.
I gotta say, Don't Fuck With Me, definitely.
That's some mosh pit music right there. That's like, let's get this fucking party going.
Definitely more memorable tracks there.
The problem with this for me is I haven't heard this album in so long. To be 100% honest, it's just
I played it earlier today. Like when Brooklyn told me it's fucking Furious, and then he didn't tell me the other album.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, well, I gotta fucking listen to Furious again.
Yeah,
and so I'm gonna be totally fucked up on Killjoy. You know.
Yep.
He only gave me one fucking album at a time.
Right. I should have listened to it. I did have time to at least brush through the Supervillains before the show, but I didn't. But I definitely got to go with Don't Fuck With Me. That's mosh pit music. It's like classic 3-6 Mafia. I'm pretty sure DJ Paul produced that one, which he did about half the album. And then I think Seven did a large portion of it. And then maybe Kuma did some production on here as well.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think the way they had it was every other track, ICP did the fucking beat and their people.
Yeah.
And then the other
DJ
track,
Paul did the other beat.
Fucking DJ Paul and fucking his people.
Which DJ Paul is like one of the most legendary, classic producers of all time. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. You go back, listen to all that old school 3-6 shit. You know, Chapter 1, The End, Chapter 2, World Domination. Go back to Mystic Styles. Like, dude was ahead of his time. Like,
Emmy Award
in general.
Winner. Emmy Award winner.
Exactly.
You know, it's all you need.
All right, so we got Don't Fuck With Me over To The Rescue. Up next, we got Supervillains Furious up against Killjoy Club Surprise. Who you going with?
I absolutely have to go with Surprise, and it's not because they released a video for it, but that fucking track was so fucking fresh when I first heard it. It was like so, you know, it's fucking dope, man. Go fucking listen to it. Furious is dog shit compared to this fucking track. Is all I gotta say. I mean, a lot of the shit on the Supervillains, like, it's cringy and it's I don't know.
It's just not good.
It's not good, even though a lot of the tracks may outplay the other ones, just because I don't remember them as well. But Surprise, definitely a top fucking track for me anyway on this album.
Absolutely. I got to go Surprise as well. And one thing that we can't just not talk about is ICP including Young Wicked on the like 90% of this album.
Yeah.
This was this was such a good look for him being in a group with ICP and 3-6 Mafia. I thought he shined on it. I'm a fan of Young Wicked's. I thought he shined on this album. I know a lot of people hated on it, still do.
Right. I mean,
killed it.
you know, me, honestly, in all fairness, Young Wicked should have had a fucking slot on the cover here. Because he did fucking, you know, contribute so much to this fucking album.
Granted, at the time, his picture wouldn't have sold. Even still,
right?
No one's gonna look at that and be like, "Oh shit, Young Wicked." They're gonna see, ICP and 3-6. That's what's selling. But I agree, he should have had a picture on the cover because he killed it on the album.
He was definitely a part of Killjoy Club back then,
without a doubt. He had the mask, he got the tattoo and shit, all that.
Yeah.
All right, so we're on to track 4, Mr. Club, going up against Jump. Mr. Club, every member of Supervillains had their own kind of track about themselves or a solo track.
Right.
And this was Mr. Club's track, even though they're kind of rapping about Mr. Club and he's just on the cuts, on the turntables and all that.
Right. Yeah. I like it. I like Shaggy's cutting in the song. But fucking Jump is another fucking big track that I like off Killjoy Club. Jump,
without
bitch,
a doubt.
Jump, bitch. Throw you in the trunk, bitch. I just fucking love that track.
Hell yeah.
Compared to Mr. Club, yeah. I like Mr. Club, the person, but not really the track. It's, it is
lackluster at best. I agree.
I mean,
I gotta go with Jump as well.
Definitely Jump.
Such a hype track. The Killjoy Club album in general, I like so much better than Supervillains Furious.
Yeah.
Production, rhymes, choruses, all that. All right, number 5, we got what seems like a lot of people's favorites because we actually just celebrated the anniversary for Supervillains Furious last week. And, I asked people what their favorite songs are, and The Van was like one that was repeated over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And that's going up against Panic Mode, which is one of the stronger tracks on Killjoy Club, in my opinion.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Panic Mode, like, I don't know, the whole fucking chorus for it, like, really killed it for me. And I'm going to have to go with The Van on this one.
Okay.
I don't know what it was. Panic Mode. I don't know. I don't know. The Van, I went back and listened to it today. I was like, this track really isn't fucking half bad. The Van's actually one of the fucking stronger tracks on this fucking album.
It's always been a fan favorite from the Furious album for sure.
Yeah, so I'm going with The Van over Panic Mode for sure.
I'm going to go Panic Mode. The Van is one of the stronger tracks on the Supervillains album, but Koopsta on Panic Mode absolutely kills it. Love it. And unlike you, I think the chorus is the shit. It fits with that kind of, the Panic Mode theme. Panic Mode. I think they all kill it. Young Wicked killed it on there. That was the single, I believe, they released before the album came out, and that got me hyped. I was like, all right, this is the type of shit. I think so.
I didn't know they released. All I knew was they fucking released the video.
For Surprise?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe Panic Mode was like the track before the album, before the video, anything. It was like the first taste that we got. If my memory serves me right. Chat, if I'm fucking wrong, call me out.
No, you could be right, dude, because that whole fucking era was really fucking cloudy for me. So.
Yeah. But I got to go Panic Mode. That's one of my favorite songs on Reindeer Games, up against one of the stronger songs on Furious, The Van. Right. And on to track 6, we got Guided Missiles going up against Hammer Time. Hammer Time is hard as fuck, produced by DJ Paul. Guided
Yeah.
missiles, it's
Dude,
forgettable.
I got to tell you straight up, Hammer Time, I remember. Guided Missiles, I don't fucking remember whatsoever. I don't fucking remember what that song, you know,
Yeah,
just
to
being
be
honest.
going into this battle, once I watched the actual UFCD tonight and hear the tracks,
Right.
I think I had one or two changes last week from when I actually heard the tracks. I was like, all right, this is actually a better song than what I originally picked.
Right.
I'm curious to see if that'll happen tonight. I kind of doubt it. And I don't doubt that I'm just going to vote Killjoy Club straight through.
See, it's possible. I mean, I was like, man, fucking Brooklyn put goddamn Furious up tonight. I really don't like that album as a whole,
Mm.
And then I'm like, what could this fucking possibly go up against? And it's fucking Killjoy Club. I know fucking people love Killjoy Club, but it was never a big album really for me either. There's a
I
few
bumped the
tracks
shit out of
here
it when
and
it
there.
came out.
What?
I bumped the shit out of it when it came out.
A lot of people did, and I'm not fucking downplaying that at all, because I fucking the tracks I do like, I fucking love.
Right.
But as far as the album as a whole, I'm like, I don't know. But Guided Missiles and Hammer Time, I got to go over Hammer Time because I actually do know some of that track.
Although Violent J's verse on Hammer Time is like, it's very cringy to me. It's one of his it's probably his weakest verse on the Killjoy Club album. But overall, that's the chorus on there. It's fucking hard as hell. DJ Paul kills it. And let's get up to track 7 here. One of my favorite songs on the album, Black Plague. It's the Mr. Spade solo cut, Isham, going up against Fools.
Yep.
Fools is a good track. As I don't really think there's any bad tracks on Killjoy Club, but Black Plague, to me, that shit is hard as fuck. I love that shit. So I'm gonna vote Black Plague up against Fools.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't remember Fools whatsoever. Black Plague definitely stood out on the album. Isham fucking killed it. Fucking great song. Definite highlight of that fucking album. So I definitely go with Black Plague.
Hell yeah.
I gotta say, off the SOOPA VILLAINZ album, their solo tracks outside of Mr. Club, I fucking love,
Yeah. I love that Black Plague track. Just
like, yeah,
super
it's a
dope.
fucking
It reminds
track.
me of Tongue's era of Isham, which I love that album.
Yeah.
All right. And then we got track 8, Hostile, going up against It's a Murder, It's a Kill.
Dude, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm going to go It's a Murder, It's a Kill all day over Hostile. To be 100% honest, I'm just having a hard time remembering the Super Villains tracks outside of what I remember being like the standout songs. Going into tonight's battle, as you were saying just like a minute ago, we didn't know what the other album was literally until the show, right before the show started. And I was kind of like going through ICP albums, picking what was going to be it. Could have been the album. I was thinking The Tempest, because that had 16 tracks, but you could take a track off of it. Mm-hmm. And I remember thinking, I was like, man, if Brooklyn set it up to where it's Super Villains versus Tempest, this is going to be really hard for me because these are two albums that I don't like. So I'm glad that there's at least one album that I do like here tonight.
Well, I'm going to tell you, man, this fucking track Hostile off Super Villains is probably my favorite track off this album.
Okay.
And I got to say, fucking Shaggy's screaming of the chorus fucking nailed it for me. And the way they like introduced everybody in the track, just hostile is my style. And then they fucking super, dude, I fucking love Hostile. I'm sure that's my favorite track on the album. I could say, going up further, I'll say this one's my favorite track.
Yeah.
Hostile definitely is a highlight of this album for me.
So you saying that got me looking forward to when these tracks go up against each other tonight, and we actually hear them, and then like
when they play the fucking clips and everything.
Yeah.
Y'all
like I said earlier, my vote changed, I think, twice last week from songs that I picked in the pre-show versus when I actually heard the clip. So I don't doubt that it could happen again tonight.
Right.
And the way you're talking about Hostile, we'll see. But It's a Murder, It's a Kill's a dope track.
Right on. I don't remember that track like at all. I can't tell you the chorus or, any verses.
Yeah. All right. We got track 9, Super Villains, List of Demands, going up against Killjoy Club's Ghetto Blaster. Ghetto Blaster is like, it's one of those ICP tracks you could definitely tell that was done before. Because from what I remember in interviews, ICP had like the songs that they produced already done. And then 3-6 had their songs already done. And when they finally met together to get in the studio, they basically just finished up the blank spots on each other's songs. And you could tell this is an ICP influenced or creation right here, Ghetto Blaster. One of the weaker songs on the album, in my opinion. But again, Listed Demand, I just don't remember it.
Dude, I'm going to tell you right now, fucking Ghetto Blaster, I do remember that track. I fucking love that track. List of Demands, I can't fucking tell you a fucking thing about it. That is such it's one of them forgettable. I don't know. I see the track list, but what is that song? It doesn't stick out. It never stuck out. But Ghetto Blaster, yeah, I remember that fucking song. Fucking dope.
Yeah. It's one of the weaker tracks, but like I said, every song on this album is good on Reindeer Games. Like, even if it's a weak track, it's still a good track just because the level that they were on and their chemistry. Like, no, who would think ICP and 3-6 would go together? You know what I mean?
Dude, I thought they would when they did Just Another Crazy Click.
I heard it for sure. But on paper, if you didn't know and you never heard a track and you're only familiar with these two groups, you'd be like, oh, fuck no, that would never work.
Right. Definitely looking back, I would love to hear another fucking Killjoy Club album.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I mean, Koopsta's passed away. Fucking
they could bring in Gangsta Boo.
Stay off of fucking whatever he's on, So DJ Paul can fucking school it with ICP all the fucking time, as far as I'm concerned.
I speculated, or I kind of created my own speculation. If they were to do another Killjoy Club album, DJ Paul is still around. Crunchy Black is still around.
Yeah.
Gangsta Boo is still around. Bring her back in the group, or bring her into the group. She's an original 3-6 Mafia member.
Right.
Yeah. She was originally part of the Mafia 6, and she eventually left, but she'd fit in. And then, obviously Young Wicked wouldn't be there. Bring in Ouija Mac. Ouija Mac would fit in so perfect over DJ Paul production. That is like his lane right there.
That would be fucking fit,
That would be dope. All right. Up next, we got track 10, Pussy. Solo Mr. Hart going up against Devil Made Me Do It featuring Big Hoodoo. I'm going to go the solo Mr. Hart, Pussy, one of the stronger tracks on Super Villains, in my opinion. Very misogynistic, but it's just so dope. He loves pussy. He's Mr. Hart, and dude, I don't blame him.
Yeah, dude, I got to tell you, this track really put fucking Lavelle out there for the Juggalos to like see what he was, not just doing a verse here and there. This was a solo fucking Lavelle track, and it was fucking Pussy. Talking about Mr. Hart, you just fucking explained. He fucking wants some pussy.
Yeah. And who could blame him?
I mean, that song, I get that song stuck in my head just throughout the day sometimes. Not every day, but every once in a while, it'll pop into my head and I'll be like, I know the verses and everything. And I fucking sing it to myself and, I remember that song. So,
yeah. Did you ever hear the original version that they released on the Super Villains album that Isham put out like a year or two later? I forget what it was called.
What is it? Ain't safe no more.
Yeah, It Ain't Safe No More.
I'm sure I've heard it maybe once.
Yeah, basically it was all, you know, it was Mr. Diamond and Mr. Spade on the track rapping the verses that Lavelle raps on the song by himself.
Did they do that?
Yeah.
Dude, I haven't heard it. It Ain't Safe No More. I loved fucking It Ain't Safe No More. There were so many good Super Villains tracks on there. The track Everyone that they did on there should have been on this fucking album.
I remember there was a song or two that should have made the Furious album that didn't.
And there was big controversy over the track Slow Your Roll.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking album.
That song, fucking Isham didn't give a fuck. He's like, fuck it, I'm putting it out there.
Holy God, dude, man.
That song, I listened to it once. I never listened to it again. That shit was just cringy, man.
It was cringy, but man, I don't know. It's not like I agreed with it, but everybody who fucking hates ICP and shit, you know, and they want to fucking social justice warrior. ICP goes back to that track.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
Shit like that. But that track was pretty fucking hardcore. It was a pretty big stain on ICP, you know.
Yes.
And he not really Isham. Isham don't give a fuck regardless.
Yeah.
But that was a pretty big fucking deal back in the day.
Still is, if you ask me.
Still is.
All right. We got track 11, So What, going up against Rambo featuring Boondocks. So What, up there with Black Plague, is one of my favorite tracks on the Super Villains album. Love the beat. Love the back and forth from these guys. Going with So What from Super Villains. Love that track. Production on there is super dope as well.
I don't remember either track.
Rambo is one of the weaker songs, in my opinion, from Killjoy Club. But like I said, they're all good songs. But I just like So What a little bit better. It was one of the more hype tracks from the Super Villains.
See, if I heard the chorus, like when they do this shit later, I'll be like, oh, yeah, that fucking track. I remember that.
Right.
But just going off of the fucking track list, I'm like, so what? I don't fucking recognize it. Rambo with Boondocks. Oh, Boondocks was on the track? Wow. You know, that's what I'm thinking right now.
That's awesome. All right, let's get to the next one. I Shot the DJ versus Braver Than Me. I got to go Braver Than Me on this one. Killjoy Club kills it. I Shot the DJ. I just don't remember it. These last tracks on the Super Villains album, I don't remember.
See, that is one track I do remember. That was a song I did like off Super Villains. I Shot the DJ. Yeah, I did like that song. Braver Than Me, I don't fucking remember.
Okay.
I don't recognize it.
All right. And then we got track 13, Hook Up the Cut versus going up against Double Clutch. Double Clutch, one of the stronger songs, one of my favorite songs on Reindeer Games. Definitely going Double Clutch on this one. Hard as fuck. Up against Hook Up the Cut, which I don't remember.
I gotta tell you, the Mr. Diamond fucking solo track, Super Villains, Hook Up the Cut, that was one that really stuck out to me. It is one of my favorite tracks on this album, based on the fucking first line, because it just leads into so much freshness of Mr. Diamond back then, you know? A multi-motherfucking super rich, stupid bitch, and that's it.
Okay.
You know, the rest just fucking float away with Mr. Diamond back then. Yeah, I mean, the chorus, you know, hook up the cut, pink and white ice, yellow come. I don't remember the whole words, but
I'm excited to listen
like
to this. I'm excited to listen to this episode tonight, just because I'm so unfamiliar with Super Villains at this point. Because to be honest, I don't even remember it's been literally years since I've listened to that album. Probably since the year it came out, to be honest.
Right, and I've listened to Killjoy Club numerous times, dude. I'm not telling you I haven't listened to this fucking album, but I don't recall it. I this time period, I recognize it a lot more, you know?
Yeah. It was such a great time period because we were still in the era of the six. It was the tail end of it,
Yeah, definitely.
but we were still in the era of the six, and like from like 02 to 05. That's pretty much when the whole
Right. Yeah, definitely.
when everything died down around the sixth. But yeah, man,
This was
and the
like
hype
Man's
surrounding
Myth and
supervillains was
Mutant
crazy.
era, you know?
What's that?
Man's Myth and Mutant era when everybody like was like, what the fuck is Twisted doing, you know?
Those albums are not good in general. I like Mutant better than Man. No, I like Man's Myth better than Mutant.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But yeah, but in general,
That's
both
a
those
whole
albums.
nother fucking episode.
Yeah.
I do like both albums, but definitely one more than the other.
Yeah. All right. Next we got, where did we leave off? All right. Track 14, Danger, going up against Live to Kill You. I don't remember Danger, so I just got to vote Killjoy Club again, just because I'm more familiar with the song than I am, but my vote could change later during the show.
And, you know, I'm going to claim that also. I'm going to go ahead and go with Live to Kill You because it's a much, much fresher title than Danger. Because I don't remember Danger at all right now.
There you go. And then we're up to the last track. It's Over versus Fuck Death. I love Fuck Death. Great track. Going with that vote all day.
Yeah, I love Fuck Death, definitely. It's Over. I fucking hate it.
I don't remember it. Those last like 4 tracks off Supervillains, I just don't remember.
Ain't no reason to respond. It's over. I hate it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's so whack that Shaggy was just like given the role of like Hooks screaming basically. I like the DJ shit. That was dope because he can cut it up pretty dope. I think he's underrated in that category.
Yeah. I'm telling you, they had so much potential with the fucking Super Villains album. It just really, really fell short for me.
Joker's Gallery in the chat said it best. Supervillains' best songs is when they're not trying to be supervillains. And he's so right.
Dude, Hit List, you put fucking Hit List up against Killjoy Club, that would be a fucking competition for me, you know? Because Supervillains, when it's just fucking ICP and Esham, maybe a special guest here and there.
Yep.
Dude, they fucking kill it. They fucking kill it. They killed it at the Gathering last year, performing all them fucking tracks.
I mean, you got tracks like Chop Chop, Pow, Boom off Repentance.
Hard Times, one of my favorite fucking tracks.
Hard Times, classic shit. Yeah. Dem Boys, I love that track. Esham and Jay.
Chop Chop off fucking Beverly Hills.
Silence of the Hams.
Dude, yeah. Leave all the fucking playing card shit alone, man.
Right. Just have it be ICP and Esham like it should have been in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Definitely. I mean, you know, there's a few good tracks off this album, but not enough to make an album.
I agree.
This
and
album,
my final,
I really don't think I've listened to this enough. Honestly, I do appreciate it.
Yep.
I know a lot of people fucking love this album.
I love it. I'm one of them.
But me personally, I think I need to give it more of a chance.
Yeah. And before we wrap it up, before the main event going down in just a few minutes, my final tally for Supervillains up against Killjoy Club. I got Killjoy Club 10, Supervillains 3, very lopsided, much like it was last week with Tales from the Lotus Pod and Riding Dirty. But like I said,
those just your tallies?
Those are just my tallies, yeah.
Oh, so you didn't tally my shit?
Yours is probably like 9-4, something like that. Maybe 8-5.
Yeah, I'll go with 8-5.
Yeah.
Supervillains probably.
Yeah. I don't think Supervillains got too many votes from either one of us.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. It could have been such a great album, but it was such... And I hope they do another Supervillains project because that single Ricochet that they dropped at Hallowicked last year was fucking fire.
Ricochet. If you haven't checked that out, go fucking check it out now.
And I wish and I hope that during this quarantine, we've heard very little from ICP and Psychopathic Records outside of Shaggy doing the Shaggy and the Creep Show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really hoping that they're working on music, and I'm hoping maybe Super Villains is like being worked on or something, because that track was super dope.
Definitely. But we're going to wrap this up. Everybody stay fucking tuned to UFCD SOOPA VILLAINZ versus Killjoy Club with fucking Siznak, Mike Sears, Speaker Clout Podcast. I'm slurring my speech now. Speak Your Fucking Clout Podcast.
Much love to Brooklyn for having us back for the pre-show.
Yeah, Brooklyn, much love. RONE Bone. We'll
Scotty.
do this again next Friday if Brooklyn wants us.
Fuck yeah, I'm down.
Absolutely, man. But much fucking love, everybody. Brooklyn, take it away, bro.
Peace.